And welcome back to the channel, you crypto nerds. Let's get straight into this one because it's a good one. So this post is very interesting to me because what we're starting to see is the recognition that it's not just Luna and it's not just LUNC or it's not just USTC. Instead of being recognized as a trio, sometimes as a duo. What is probably a good idea for all three of these chains at the moment? And the reason why I say all three of these chains is because realistically we are three chains at this point. Three chains is it sounds like a new rap album, doesn't it? HEC, three chains, yo. I'm getting on a tangent here. Let's get back to it. With this whole sort of three chain, I just can't take it seriously. I should edit this bit out, but I'm not going. Three chains. We should probably all work together at this point. And the reason why I'm saying this is because honestly, one moon rising's pretty good. Two moons rising, that's really good. But three of them. I mean, 3 moons. Come on, 3 chains, 3 moons, 3 albums. Bull run. As we've seen this price movement, right? Regardless of you liking your neighbor or not at this point, we're all moving together. And something that we need to understand as these independent coefficient chains that have all got their own sort of communities, their own head-ins, their own, tribe of Lord of the Fly Island sort of thing going on. But honestly, if we can all learn to work together, right? Because if you go to the Luna chat groups and you even mention LUNC or Classic or USTC, they're like, nope, go to this group. You got to go to this group, and that's the kind of friction we're dealing with that we should really aim to remove. And I'm personally going to be on a campaign to just try and remove this friction, because what I've seen happening and watching the charts from my desk at work and sort of wondering what's going on and what's really attributing to this. I think it was the mystery. And honestly, what was happening was USTC would pump, and then the other two would pump with it, and then USTC would stop pumping and Luna would pump a little bit. That would drag the others up, and then that would stop, and Luna Classic would then pump. That drags the other two up, and we're in a very, very, very relatable price chatting. It's the whole free chains thing. It's really set me off, this video. This really sets us aside in the cosmos. And if we can learn to work together, if we can build a relationship, if we can start to understand that there's all these great tools and all we've got to do is work together. They're giving us support through V3. We get support through Station, all these different things. We're going to get continued support. It's obvious we're kind of winking at each other. We're kind of waving at each other. We're showing an ankle, and we're sort of saying, hey, we're here. And we'd like to remove the friction. And I think everybody kind of feels the same, but when everybody's banded together, it's sort of this real negative attitude. And it's kind of sad to see that, because if you go to a Classic group and you ask about anything to do with the chain, if it's Luna related, the likelihood is you're going to get help. They're not going to send you to another group. But there's also all of these different weird things that I see, right? And this is why I say we've got these very, very Lord of the Fly style groups. And something I've noticed, if you do go to the TFL main group and you mention Classic, they give you 2 groups. These 2 groups are 2 specific people's groups. One is Vegas, the other one is Rexy. And, I'm not trying to light anyone up here, but I'm simply saying this is the sort of stuff that you're dealing with, this very centralized sort of thing. So every single new user that went to the Luna group for help got referred to either Rexy's whole sort of ecosystem or Vegas's kind of sort of whole ecosystem. And then you've got these very new people that don't know about the 150K scam, the $3 million rug. You don't know about these validators having their nodes shut down and all of these different things. They don't know the history. Instead, they're getting sent to these people that they think are the people they should possibly, trust and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't, but historically, would you trust a car dealer if they robbed you? No. Would you trust your friend if they burgled your house? No, exactly. Would you trust a crook? No. So it's this kind of historical thing and this whole sort of, we've got this Lord of the Flies stuff going on. But what I've been working to do for a while now, like I said, is remove the friction and sort of get a good heading for this blockchain as to what it can do, where it can go. And that was the United Visions idea. And we have seen that mostly played out now. We've seen the DCM get implemented, even at detriment to myself. And I mean, great detriment to myself. I probably suffered the worst out of everybody in this scenario. But with all of this being said, right, we can move as a trio. So what we're looking at firstly was the LUNC price chart. This is the USTC price chart, and this is the Luna price chart, and we're all moving together. And if we can all learn to work together and accept each other and sort of even having, right, for example, like V3 support's coming out, isn't it? And it's sort of like TFL are supporting LUNC, tweet about it. Tweet about it so we can all tweet about it, and we can thank you, and we can show our love, we can show our support. And it's this idea, right, of removing the barriers, because you've got three types of validators at the moment. You've got validators that are validating on Luna but do validate this chain but don't do absolutely anything. You've got validators like myself that have absolutely bent over backwards for this chain and giving absolutely everything I've got, running at a loss for like 8 months. And then you've got validators that don't do anything. Validators that are like, yeah, I'm going to build a site. Okay, you're going to build a website to do what? To give people information? Yeah, I'm just going to build a site. Okay, so what else are you going to build? Well, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Well, I don't know. And it's sort of this whole 3 chains thing, right? But it's a worrying thing to say the least. And this is what I've been saying in my previous video today, is this idea of supporting the correct validators. And this is very important, because if you're supporting a validator that is validating the Luna chain, but also validates this chain, you've got some of your wires connected really wrong here, because you're not supporting the right people. And what will happen is, right, even with these really good monumental runs we're going through, it's all about user retention. And eventually what's going to happen is, and this is all part of my next video that's coming out today, as to when we could possibly see a correction. And the reason why I say this is because there's coins that are locked up, and we can see there's a lot of coins coming out of unbonding. And I believe within the next few days, well, I'm going to be doing a video next, so I don't want to dive too much into it, but that's kind of my thesis that I've got going on as to why you haven't actually seen any huge rejections, because yeah, it's going to be an interesting video to say the least. Now, with this whole trio thing, my advice to everybody is embrace the Luna people. Okay, even if they're throwing stuff at you. Okay, even if they are saying that you smell, even if they say the 3 Chains album's bad, hashtag 3 Chains album, hashtag I've been in LUNC for 1 year, 7 months, and all I got was this 3 Chains album. But I mean, even if they don't like the album, right, just embrace them. Try not to pester them too much. Just we've got to do this slowly. We've got to do this carefully. And as much as some people are not going to want to see this happen, and people are going to want to see us fight between each other, it's kind of like what governments do. And they keep you all fighting amongst each other, so you don't work together and you don't succeed, and you don't get to these sort of greater heights. And that's what we need to do. And we've done well working in a very unified manner moving forward. And I think there's going to be a lot of good news coming out in the coming days, and there's going to be a lot of stuff where people are going to be, 3 Chains albums, come on, Happy, when are you going to be releasing those? But honestly, guys, keep an eye out for the album. Stay safe. Hashtag 3 Moons Rising. Hashtag the LUNC trio. Hashtag 3 Chains. Throw out the comments, throw it all down. But honestly, the best bet for us moving forward in this bull run is to work together as a trio. And yes, even with USTC and LUNC, it's definitely viable for us, and anything can help us push higher during this bull run, because that's when it really counts. This is the time. We're not going to get an opportunity like this for 4.5 years. We've got to get it right this time. And I can guarantee there's a lot of different people that agree with me on that part. But folks, more content coming today. I might do a live at some point just to catch up with everybody and give everybody opportunity to know that I am around. I've just been working a lot, and you got to do what you got to do at this point. It's one of those ones. Shout out to all of those that stayed very loyal to us, staying delegated with us. That's so important that that happens. You know, we've really suffered at this point, and it was during a time which really would have helped us recover our debts and our losses, which is about $18,000, similar to what Classy Crypto have gone through. And if we look at all of the different influencers that have come and gone in the LUNC chain, I haven't, even when I broke my back, even with a full-time job, I'm still around, I'm still here, and I'm still doing stuff. Even whilst I've not been doing content, there's been a huge amount of stuff going on behind the scenes, and this is all going to become pretty apparent as we move forward into this week. Stay safe, stay humbles. Stay humbles. I'm all out of my words today. I'll catch you in the next one. #FreeChains.